8.59 miles, 9 minutes, 17 seconds per mile on average, and 120 beats per minute on average for the course of the run, which was definitely a bit of a struggle today. A big contrast from how strong I felt after completing the 100-mile week the day before this run, and then the following day on Monday, definitely crashing during the middle of this run and struggling quite a bit. Nothing injured, nothing wrong, but definitely running into some problems that are all pretty much, I think, self-inflicted. I didn't eat anything before I went out for the run, which is not completely unusual for me, but I usually end up kind of like eating some sort of snack. Sometimes there's cookies laying around, sometimes there's other kind of like power bites, like those kinds of things. My wife makes a lot of almond butter balls that are delicious. Well, we ran out of them a couple days ago. Or sometimes I'll just have toast with almond butter and jelly. I didn't have any of those, and I decided to go out for the run anyway. I didn't fuel nearly enough after completing the 100-mile week, so I think I was a little bit depleted to begin with. Then I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to take it easy today. I'll go for whatever pace my body tells me it wants to run on one of the shorter routes that's available around here, which should have been about like 9.6 miles, I think. So I'm going easy, so I don't need to bring water, and I won't bring a gel with me. I'm kind of running low on gels. I've been like just burning through them lately. So I thought I'd just save myself, you know, a buck or two and leave it at home because it's going to be an easy run. So I think like a lot of those big mistakes put together, because I could have just brought it and not used it, that kind of thing. So a lot of those mistakes put together, you know, came to a head, I guess not that quickly, but very suddenly and very strongly. So at around the 5.5 mile mark, my stomach started feeling really hungry, and I was like, oh, I'm just feeling not great. Nothing hurt, nothing felt weird. I was just like, I was really hungry, and I was like, ooh, I should have brought a gel. Then at the 7.4 mile mark, that's when I started my first bout of walking. And I think what was going on at that time when I started walking was, not only was I hungry, I was starting to feel like I needed to poop a little bit, but it was a little bit different than that, almost kind of like a diarrhea type of sensation. Not like that I was having it, but like that gurgling you sometimes get like in your stomach, where it's turning around a couple of times. Like that's what I was feeling. I walked for a bit, that went away. I tried to run a little bit more. Then another mile later, by like the 8.4 mile mark, I was walking again because it was just becoming overwhelming, and it just made it worse to continue running. So I walked for another, let's see, 0.2 of a mile before I finally just called it. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk the rest of the way. I'm gonna end the activity right here. And I still had to walk like over a mile to get back home. So a lot of walking for today. When I got home, I definitely had to go to the bathroom pretty urgently. And then afterwards, and I thought that would be it and I'd just be fine. But afterwards I had to like, I got in the shower real fast. Not that I needed to shower, but like I just felt like, let's take a shower, let's get rested up, because I wanted to lay down on the couch. So I lay down on the couch for a little bit, and then it really started to get worse, where I felt like I didn't want to drink water, although I probably needed to drink a lot of water, and I didn't want to eat either, although I felt really hungry. There's a giant spider crawling up the wall over there, and it's freaking me out. So anyway, I was on the couch, and it started feeling like I had food poisoning. So I was starting to worry that like this wasn't a running issue, but it was some other gastrointestinal issues. So it just felt like really bad gastrointestinal distress. And I had like a phone call or a Zoom call scheduled with Ed Bud, which that video will be coming out tomorrow, that I was supposed to do, but I had to postpone it a day because I was like, I am in no condition to like talk about shoes or get in front of a camera. So I was like, no, I gotta do it some other time. And he was very gracious and understanding to reschedule. But I was like that, and I didn't really eat. I think I slept intermittently, but it was exactly like when I've had food poisoning in the past, where like you lay down and you kind of get into the fetal position because it makes your stomach feel a little bit better, but no position that you can roll to or lay down in. That spider still, it's like it's got giant legs and a big abdomen or thorax. I don't know. So no matter what position I laid down in, it just didn't feel any better. Intermittently, I was able to fall asleep for a couple minutes at a time, and that seemed to help. And it wasn't until like a couple hours later, about 3 hours later, that I started to feel a little bit better. And then at that point, I was able to drink more fluids and actually eat some food. I would get hungry, eat something, and then that would make my stomach kind of feel queasy for a little while. But I was able to kind of continue doing that and feel better. And now to the next day, I took a complete rest day, even though the weather was supposed to be rainy, and then I had a beautiful day instead. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just go out for a short run. But I said, no, let's take it easy. There's nothing urgent that I'm training for. There's no like big workout that I'd be missing. So decided to take it easy. It was my first rest day in 26 runs. So I had 26 runs and then a rest day. Before that, my last rest day was the day after I ran my first 50K. So I've been running a lot lately. Definitely have increased the mileage, not just that 100-mile week, but even before then. I think the week before that was like in the 80s. And before that was just about 80. So like high mileage weeks the past 3 weeks. So my body definitely giving me some very clear signals that I've kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. And just gonna listen to my body a little bit more in that regard, and especially in regards to fueling, not just during the run, but like in like the 22 hours in between runs that I generally have, or the 23 hours that I'll have, is to make sure that I'm taking care of myself better through there. Now, if you guys have been watching this channel, you guys know that I don't always eat the best or the most nutritious food. But I think that, with the summertime, I've been kind of like, being a little bit less careful about making sure that I'm taking in good foods and enough of them. And so a weird problem to have, I think, in the US, but I think I'm not eating enough. So something that I'm going to definitely take a look at. And I thought I'd share that experience with you guys too, to let you guys know that I'm no pro. I'm new to this kind of mileage, and figuring it out sometimes the hard way. So I think that's all I have for this video today. Thanks everybody for making it all the way to the end. Hope you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?